I remember the exact moment when everything changed. It was a Sunday evening, the kind of night that should have been warm and easy, laughter circling the dinner table, the comfort of family all around. Then, her voice sliced through it, sharp and careless. My wife's daughter, just 20, leaned back and smirked. "You're not even real family," she said. "Don't tell me what to do." The laughter died instantly. My brothers looked at me, uncertain. My mother lowered her gaze, ashamed on my behalf. I didn't raise my voice, didn't let the anger show. I took one slow breath and let the silence swallow the moment. Later that night, when the guests had gone and the house had quieted down, I spoke to her privately. I wasn't angry, I just wanted understanding, respect. I told her that this home, this life she lived so comfortably in, was something I had built with hard work, something she benefited from every single day. But before she could even answer, my wife walked in. Her words hit harder than I ever expected. "She's not your daughter," she said flatly. "Don't correct her." That moment burned deep inside me. I smiled, not out of calmness, but control. It was a cold, distant smile that no one understood but me. That was the moment the bridge between us quietly collapsed. 3 years earlier, I had married her mother with hope in my heart. I had money, stability, and a genuine desire for family. When her daughter came into our lives, I tried to be more than just a stepfather. I paid her tuition, bought her a car, gave her comfort and opportunities. I thought kindness would earn trust, that time would build love. But love, I learned, cannot grow in spoiled soil. To her, I was never family, just a man funding her convenience. And her mother, the woman who once swore she respected me above anyone, only fed that arrogance. That night, as I lay in bed staring at the ceiling, something inside me hardened. It wasn't just about an insult anymore. It was about the truth that had been quietly living in the shadows, that they never saw me as one of them. To them, I was replaceable, disposable. The realization didn't break me. It reshaped me. I decided then that I would never raise my voice again. No shouting, no arguing. Just action. Calm, deliberate, final action. In the days that followed, I moved with quiet precision. I reviewed the paperwork, the financial threads that held their comfort together. The girl's car, under my name. Her university tuition, paid through my accounts. The apartment she rented near campus, mine as well. Every piece of her easy life had my signature somewhere on it. And once I saw that, I knew exactly what to do. I called my lawyer the next morning. He was a discreet man, one who understood silence better than questions. Within 24 hours, everything shifted. The car title was revoked. The tuition payment was canceled. The apartment lease was terminated. The world she took for granted unraveled, quietly, efficiently. By dawn, I had reclaimed everything I'd built. The next morning, she came down the stairs, phone in hand, half awake and unaware. I was already dressed for work, sipping my coffee. "Why does my school portal say my enrollment's canceled?" she asked, her voice shaking slightly. I didn't answer. I just looked at her once and went back to my cup. Minutes later, she stormed outside, shouting. The driveway was empty, her car gone. Her scream filled the air, bouncing off the walls. When she rushed back inside, pale and trembling, she shouted, "My apartment, the landlord says the lease is gone." "What did you do?" Her mother came running, eyes wild with panic. "You can't just ruin her life like this," she shouted. I set my coffee cup down, calm as ever, and met her eyes. "She's not my daughter," I said evenly. "And I don't correct her. I don't provide for her either. Not anymore." The words echoed through the room like a quiet storm. Neither of them spoke. My wife's face lost all color, her daughter stood frozen, stripped of her arrogance, left with nothing but fear. That silence, that perfect silence, said everything. But I wasn't finished. Revenge, to me, isn't about fury. It's about clarity. I called the bank and froze the cards my wife used freely. I closed the joint account she once enjoyed access to. The clothes, the dinners, the jewelry, every comfort she flaunted, all of it came from me. And just as I had given it, I took it away. Within a week, their world shrank to its true size. The daughter begged her mother for money, for rides, for help. Her school demanded payment she couldn't make. Her car sat locked in a storage lot, just a memory of privilege. My wife began to feel the weight of what she'd chosen. Friends whispered behind her back. Family asked awkward questions. She tried to maintain her dignity, but every encounter reminded her that her comfort had always been mine to give. And now, it was gone. The silence of my revenge wasn't cruel, it was precise. I didn't need to humiliate them publicly. Life was doing it for me. About a week later, I came home to find them both waiting. My wife's eyes were red from crying. Her daughter sat quietly, no trace of her old sharpness left. "You've made your point," my wife said softly. "But she's just a girl. You can't punish her like this." I looked at them, mother and daughter, pride replaced by desperation. My voice was calm when I said, "I didn't punish her. I just stopped rewarding her." The girl finally spoke then, her voice trembling. "I'm sorry," she whispered. It was the first apology I'd ever heard from her. But even then, I knew it wasn't born of remorse, it was born of fear. I gave her a slow nod, then turned to my wife. "You chose her over me," I said. "Now you live with that choice. From this moment on, your actions have consequences." That night, I slept peacefully for the first time in weeks. It wasn't triumph that lulled me to sleep, it was relief. I hadn't destroyed them, I had simply restored balance. For too long, they had mistaken my kindness for weakness, my silence for surrender. They had forgotten that everything they stood on had been built by my hands. When I woke the next morning, the house was quiet. No voices, no arguments, no demands. Just peace, a rare kind of peace that only comes when you reclaim your dignity. I sat by the window with my coffee, the same way I had on that Sunday night, but everything felt different now. I didn't smile out of cold satisfaction this time. I smiled because I was free. They had wanted to show me my place, to remind me that I was just an outsider in my own home. But in the end, I showed them theirs. Respect isn't a gift to be handed out, it's something earned, something owed. And those who forget that truth will always learn it the hard way.